for that agitation. Like, she just talked to you right now. I'm sure she would think about it again and maybe put some thought into action and take it forward. So such.
I do take petty measures, petty problem solving solutions, but they are not social in order. Like, my parents cannot, like, it was a petty thing that they could not pull a sled. My mom had to change it. And even I am not powerful enough to take it through the staircase. So what to do? And nobody else is there. So what I did was I took the rubber doormat, I had put it on the staircase and pulled it in a go. So it was a petty solution. It's not of social order per se. But that was a small innovation I'm talking about. It is not even worth sharing probably.
Why not? Why not? It is.
But my point is that I do things, I try and do things about small problems which are of my personal control and concern. But when it comes to other people being involved, being influenced by that, then I think.
No, but I'm sure if you just make a list of problems that affect you, you will find some which you have not done anything about. So it is not that about others, about us also, about ourselves. About ourselves.
Perhaps empowerment is part of the answer.
Who will empower?
I don't know, but people need to feel empowered.
Who will empower? That is one way that if I talk to some people, we discussed about dialogue among the users. If we talk to others about the problem and some thought which comes to mind, while 9 out of 10 people might discourage you, one might say, all right, go ahead. Maybe it's worthwhile. Yes. So one way is that we should create a community where we share problems even if we don't have solutions. Second, we write down, don't forget them. Third, when we get agitated, what should we do at that stage? क्या करना चाहिए? It's a generic problem in our society, isn't it? We are living with so much inefficiency, so many unsolved problems, so much of mediocrity, so much of wastage. इतना कुछ गलत है हमारे चारों तरफ. हाँ? No, but let us say 10 things we are not sensitive, but 11 things may be such which you notice. Yeah? There is at least something that you notice. What happens to that? No, but these are problems of our own, not others. I was with a doctor today morning for some physiotherapy. I had a pain in my right shoulder for some reason, so she noticed it and she said, okay, you come in the morning. I had a half an hour break in between some 2 meetings, so I went there, got it done. She showed me a patient. I have a photograph with me, I'll show you tomorrow. That patient had suffered in the accident and had lost a lot of bones of the face. So his most of the muscles were not working. He had a delivery pipe in the stomach and the food was directly given to his stomach. He couldn't take it because there was no way he could swallow. So he was discussing, thinking about, and this lady was trying to figure out, and the doctor said, I got an idea. You have the plastic pipe that you put in the tap on which you attach a pipe, that small device, rubber, which is on one end bigger, one end smaller. Smaller one goes into the pipe, bigger one goes to the tap. She gave that piece to him to put in the mouth and press it. Now the action has to be around that pipe because pipe is rubber. And this will strengthen the muscles of this face. Once the muscles get strengthened, the fellow will be able to swallow. That was her thesis. Now imagine, this piece is not designed for strengthening the muscles of the mouth. It is designed for irrigation in the garden or filling the bucket or whatever have you. Because she wants to find a way of strengthening the muscles, she is looking for something, she is not able to imagine for a while. Her mind is scanning all possible products and images and things, and suddenly it zeroes in. All right, maybe that piece is the one that... There must have been agitation in her mind. She was a sense of inadequacy. Why can't I find a solution? I'm a bright doctor. So, agitation should lead to sense of inadequacy. Sense of inadequacy must trigger the search. That search should be as broad-based as possible, not just in the medical devices, not just in my cabin. The mind, her mind went all over. She didn't know what she was looking for. She knew she was looking for something which can be put in the mouth, can be pressed, and it will expand to rubber, some rubber thing. How would she think then that mouth, pipe, small, pressing, and then she says, okay, that's the point. And then she figures out her mind, in fact, filled in. She didn't have to do all the intelligence herself. The subconscious mind and the images which are stored in the brain of various things she had seen, the search of that in that database took place because the criteria of search was narrowed down as it went on. तो सोचते रहे पाइप छोटा रबर गोल मुंह में दबा सके थोड़ा pressure हो, and it zeroed in on that image. Now this is something that all of us can train our brain to do this, because we have a lot of images in our brain, isn't it? But we are not able to search the database so quickly. But if the desire is clear, and if you can sharpen your search strategy, as they call it, progressively, begin with a very broad and let it taper on its own through a recursive selection-rejection process. Image comes in the mind, rejected. Image comes in the mind, rejected. Image comes in the mind, rejected. And after a few rejections, you are also eliminating the categories of those things that you have rejected. You get my point what I am saying? I don't know whether I am comprehensible. What I am saying is that when you reject some choices, you don't reject the things, you reject the categories. वर्गीकरण करते हैं ना हम दिमाग में, तो जिस वर्ग की चीजों को हम निकालते हैं उसको निकालते हैं बाहर. ये नहीं चलेगा, ये नहीं चलेगा, ये नहीं चलेगा, ये नहीं चलेगा. And then comes in the mind. You know, one could have thought about the children that choose that, but it is so small for kids. He is a grown-up man, and he needs a lot of pressure. Kids don't need to press so much as a grown-up person has to do. तो वो तो चलेगा नहीं. His mouth is bigger. And what she did tell me after? She said, now look at his wife was standing there. She said, look at this wife. She came yesterday, she was so desperate. Everybody told her, no way, there's no solution for this. Somebody told her about me, and she came to me. And I realized that if I don't do anything, she'll be very disappointed. So the expectations were also doing some wonder. In other words, we raise expectations from ourselves. Can you do that? Raising expectation from oneself. You understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to find ways by which the tension, that pressure can get created in mind, which will search in the brain. If it can find images, it will find. Otherwise, it will say, okay, tomorrow I'll think about. But very quickly it processes millions of images in the brain. Can you imagine how many images you have in the brain? You cannot believe it. But when you think of it, you suddenly remember things that you have seen for a fleeting moment. Brain has a huge database, unimaginable number of images brain has. How does it zero in on that? Just imagine. It's an enormous capacity, but this capacity we can create. This capacity is often making. हम लोग कर सकते हैं इसको. We can train our brain. We can train our brain to search. It is possible. Some people are more adept at that than others, that I agree, but it is possible. And this has led to these kind of innovations. I saw this problem. Purulia. The handle, when you push it hard, and sometimes children swing on this handle, it develops a crack here. So this part of the hand pump gets broken. So these people have put a small sling here, correct, to stop this from going down. But they did it as a surgery post facto correction. पहले तो उन्होंने कुछ किया नहीं. So what did we find in Bastar? Bastar, we have walked 20 states. हम लोग 20 राज्यों में 4000 किलोमीटर चले, तो सॉल्यूशन मिलता है बस्तर में. Isn't it beautiful? But nowhere in the country, in 1 billion people, one person could not think of this solution. And Bastar is a backward region, isn't it? Is it backward? It's not. Some respect it is not. Both the solutions that we found in the villages there, this one and this one, are smart solutions. Very smart solution. Very precise, very correct, low cost, easy to fit, and solves the problem. Now the life of this hand pump has gone up by many more years, because it will not strike down and therefore will not cut it. Engineers then did not design. Engineers made a wrong design. These UNICEF engineers and designers of India, they didn't think of it. They didn't think of it. A union organization which popularized this Mark II hand pumps didn't think about this problem, despite the fact they must have seen this problem. It came out from Bastar. So I'll just close at this one, and this is the last example I want to show you today, because it tells you remarkable ideas which come, and I'll show you two pictures. This one is one we saw in Arku Valley. तो नीचे तो चूल्हा है ना, 90% or sometimes 60%, 80% of the gas heat is flue gas which goes around the vessel into the atmosphere and is lost. And we let it lost. In all our kitchens, we see this every day. Sahi hai na? All of us. And we don't do anything about it. This lady, Jyoti, couldn't afford to lose this heat. So she made a shelf. क्या किया शेल्फ में मालूम है? She kept paddy plants, धान के पौधे, mature धान के पौधे. Why? Because when you heat the panicles of rice, paddy, the rate at which the husk expands is different from the rate at which grain expands. So when you thrash these, it requires less energy, less drudgery. Can you imagine? No student of post-harvest technology has ever been taught that you can reduce drudgery in threshing by heating the panicles. Not ever. Nobody. She discovered this. And whatever heat is still left goes to the seed box. And where is that other picture? उन्हीं को दूसरी वाली में दिखाता हूँ उनको. वो किसमें है? The one with the four shells, huh? 4 shells. Now, in Meghalaya, they went a step ahead. Arku Valley, there were 3 layers. In Meghalaya, we found 4 layers. This is the wood which they use in wood trolley. Their understanding is that if you heat this wood, it lasts longer in the trolleys of which they take on the slopes. This one is for firewood, to dry the firewood. This one is for vegetables. If you dry the vegetable, they will last longer. And that on the top, they hang the seeds. 4-tier system of energy harnessing. Isn't it smart? All of us know energy crisis. All of us have kitchens. All of us have gas. All of us have utensils. All of us have seen the flue gases going around. We did not invent it. Now imagine they live in a forest, so they have a lot of wood, a lot of trees. But they are somehow not willing to waste. We are somehow willing to waste. So it is not just to know the problem. It is not to just get agitation. It is not just to get search for the solutions. It will not happen unless we also feel responsible. So one word which was missing so far was responsibility. That the problem, agitation, Uneasiness?